how do I want to spend my time during the holidays? What brings me joy? What brings me fulfillment? Who are the people that that light me up? Being in that place of knowing that I get to choose and to be grateful for having that opportunity. These intentional moments of pause really gave me the opportunity to appreciate and love the choices that I was suddenly able to create for myself. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Power in the Pause podcast. How are you doing today? I am Wendy Page Sterling, your host, and today's episode has to do with the holidays. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is a subject that was very close to my heart about 7 years ago when I was going through my divorce and I was dreading the holidays. So I know that there's got to be many of you out there who are in a similar situation. So I wanted to talk today about how it is that I can help you to cope with the loneliness and that isolation that could happen during the holidays. So that's what we're going to dive into in today's episode today. So I feel very strongly about the holiday time period. Both can be a time where it can include joyous celebrations, and it can also be a time where we are feeling loss. And as the holiday season is upon us, these joyous celebrations and these gatherings that we have with family and friends can definitely inadvertently amplify a sense of loneliness for many of us. And whether that's due to distance, personal circumstances, like I talked about, for me, it was my divorce, or other reasons, experiencing isolation during this particular time of year is really, really challenging. And so today we're going to really dive headfirst into how it is that instead of going down the rabbit hole of isolation and depression around the holidays, what I'm hoping to inspire you to see in these moments of solitude are intentional pauses. So seeing those moments of solitude as moments to pause, which can provide an opportunity for you to self-reflect, to get a deeper understanding of your own strength, and honestly, embracing the ability for you to create a day for yourself, let's say, of what it is that you want to do. It's giving you permission to do something that you normally wouldn't give yourself permission to do. So let's dive in, shall we? So how do we embrace the pause in what I'm calling, loneliness during the holidays? So loneliness can definitely feel very overwhelming. I remember feeling that myself, even just not having custody of my kids half the time, let alone during the holidays. But what I quickly started to see were the quiet moments of solitude created a powerful moment for me. Now, you see, I never had time by myself. I was a working mom, corporate America of 2 kids, and I never got a break. Like I couldn't even go pee without a child knocking on the door needing something. And so what the solitude that when I didn't have my kids over the holidays felt like to me was an opportunity for me to actually breathe, to create a moment of introspection, of self-discovery, of what does Wendy want? What does Wendy feel like doing today? And so instead of viewing isolation as a void, what I invite you to consider instead is that it's a canvas of opportunity, right? For personal exploration. So maybe think about using this time to engage in activities that bring you joy. For me at the time, it was working out, it was hiking, it was reading a book, It was figuring out like a hobby that I let fall by the side. I also love organizing and, redecorating on a budget. And so, what I was quickly able to realize was that these moments actually gave me an opportunity to strengthen my connection with myself. And it really fostered my sense of resilience and my sense of empowerment and trusting that I am okay if I'm by myself, that I don't always have to be around other people or even that FOMO. This is where the inner strength piece comes into play, right? So I think I believe that we don't give ourselves enough credit for how strong we truly are. And I don't know about you guys, but so many times, like, I will just brush over things. I'm like, yeah, done, nailed it. Okay, let's move on. And I don't give myself, or I should say, I don't gift myself with the opportunity to really just like pause and be present and reflect on my own personal strength. And so what I started to notice was, in the absence of external distractions, I was able to turn my attention inward and acknowledging the resilience and the accomplishments that I had achieved. And so, what that gifted me with was creating this like really solid foundation for myself of feeling empowered and proving that I didn't need to be around other people to feel value or to feel my worth or to feel like, I had a purpose. What it did instead was it showed me that I actually am strong enough to be by myself and to see it as a choice from power instead of it being a choice from disempowerment. And so, what that ultimately really gifted me with in the end was gratitude, right? I don't really I will admit that my gratitude practice before my divorce was definitely not what it should have been, or I shouldn't say should, but it really wasn't. Like I said, I would just, move through things. I love checking things off my list. And so what I started understanding during the holidays when I found myself alone, my family doesn't live near me. My family lives, somewhere else. I have to travel if I want to be with them. And so it wasn't like I had the ability to just, get in my car and drive 15 minutes. It was either, a 50-minute flight or it was a 5-hour drive. And so what I started really seeing was having gratitude for, the things that I did have and the time that I was able to carve out, or even, budgeting for a plane ticket for me to be able to fly up north. And what I was able to really prioritize when I finally had a minute to breathe by myself was really reflecting on, like, how do I want to spend my time during the holidays? What brings me joy? What brings me fulfillment? Who are the people that that light me up, right? So being in that place of knowing that I get to choose and to be grateful for having that opportunity. These intentional moments of pause really gave me the opportunity to appreciate and love the choices that I was suddenly able to create for myself. And don't get me wrong, I didn't love the physical distance between me and my family. I had spent a lot of my years in marriage with my now ex-husband's family. And so we did the holidays with him. Typically, then my parents would come down. And so I was in a place where I had to completely recreate anything and every holiday and tradition. And I was dealing with this physical distance that I had between where I lived and where my family was. And what I quickly started to greatly appreciate was technology. I mean, can you imagine if technology wasn't what it was, if technology didn't exist the way it does today? it would be really difficult to create meaningful connections with the people that you love from a distance. And so what I also started doing was using these opportunities to reach out to friends. I mean, there were friends who live across the country who I didn't have a chance to speak to very often because I was always with my kids. I was always at sports. I was always at work. And by the time I would get home at night, they would be going to bed. It was too late to talk to them. And so what I used this time for, because everybody typically slows down during the holidays, was really engaging in these heartfelt conversations and really connecting in with my friends and telling them how much I miss them and wishing them a happy holiday. I mean, there was even one year where I flew back east to go visit my friend and her family to spend it with them because that was a choice I wanted to make. So I did it. And so what I love about technology and, basically, filling the gap of, that physical presence space is that you can bridge the gap with technology, right? And you're able to transcend these physical boundaries and create moments of worth and companionship, whether that's through technology or through you just deciding, because you don't have your kids, for example, that you can go fly across the country and go be with people that you want to try something new, to do something different. So, as you guys are contemplating or even navigating any loneliness that you're feeling this holiday season, I really invite you to use the quiet, to use the power in the pause for a time of self-reflection and seeing it as an opportunity for growth and gratitude and connection. And so I want to thank you guys for, kind of bearing with me in this episode and allowing me to share a little bit of my own reflective journey around the loneliness that I was feeling over the holidays in the past. And I invite you to share today's episode if you found value in it, because you know that there's somebody that you know who would benefit from hearing my wisdom in this episode. And I just want to say your support means the world to me. And I know that together we can help other people with the knowledge that we have or the knowledge that we come across, that we're able to share that with the people that we care about and love. So I wish you just a wonderful holiday season filled with moments of joy and connection. And as a reminder, if you like this episode, if you love the podcast, please give me a 5-star rating and take it a step further and leave me a review so that even more people that you don't know will find this podcast and find this episode. So thank you for tuning in. Until next time, just take a deep breath, embrace the pause this holiday season, and remember that you have the power to find your own inner strength at any given moment. Sending you so much love, light, and joy. Bye, everybody.